Welcome again to BC Protect channel. Remember that the purpose of this channel is to help others to study how to use CAM software, especially solidworks. After to complete the ending starting condition in extrude boss. Now today we're gonna to see how to use the end condition in extrude boss. So this is the function we use in extrude boss. Is necessary, is essential to know that, because it is the basic one can know when we are going to use the SolidWorks. You see in the screen we have two bodies, and we have the plane and the sketch. Now let's give it the dimension of the sketch, and then we start. Let's give it 7 slope. Yeah, give 8 0. Now let's begin. Go to the feature extrude boss. Now starting condition, remember that you have seen this, you have seen sketch plane, surface, face in the plane, vertex, offset, and now for ending condition we have blend, flow all, up to vertex, up to surface, offset from surface, up to body and middle plane. Now let's start by blending. Now when you click on blending, the extrude boss, you see the direction or orientation of the extrude boss. For blend, we can change the direction upward or downward. You see, can do it manually, or can change by using this flash. When you click here, you see there is a change, and then when you click here, there is another change. So for blend, you can adjust the dimension by adding like this. When you put here 100, you see the change. Now yes, for blend here it is possible to change you can change the angle. When you click, for example, let's put 545 degrees. You see now the change. Let's reduce the height. You see now, you see the another shape that we get. Now yes, after put this angle, you can change this direction. You can put what we call draft outward. Then you click here, you see how the shape can be changed. This, yeah, you see another shape. Yeah, now after see how to use the extrude at the certain angle. For that, there is another point. You can use what we call delegation tool. When we click here, you see now we get another direction. For here, we can increase, you see, can increase this manually. It is mean that when we add another direction, it is mean that we have two direction, but we can increase one independently and another one independently. You see, here we can adjust for direction one. We can adjust the dimension independently. When we click here, we will add 20. You see, for the next let's add another direction. Let's add 50. You see the change. Now we can use this in extrude boss. It is better to know all this function. Okay, let's click OK. You see now we get another shape. Okay, let's change. Go to other function. Now let's change. Yes, now let's take another function of extrude the boss. Let's select the flow all. Now, when we select the flow all, you see the change that we get. It is mean that the flow all will get the shape flow all the object that we have. It is mean that when you have two objects or three, it depend on the shape. It mean that the extrude boss must cross all the object or bodies that we have until to the bottom of all bodies. You see, now we click flow all and then we get this shape. When we click OK, you see now where the extrude boss she pass close all object until the bottom of the last one. That is we call flow all. Let's change to another. Let's go to up to next. Yes, up to next. When we click up to next, it is the mean that the extrude boss it will take the shape of the next object. It means that you cannot, if you have many objects, it means that the next one it will be the end of our extrude boss. Let's click OK. You see, yes, this is the up to next. This means that you cannot select here for extrude boss, but it is automatically to the next body. Okay, let's change to see another function. Let's go to up to vertex. Yes, up to vertex. We're gonna to click any point. When we click this line, you see, when we click this point, can click line or point. When we click here, you see now the end point of extruded boss. It will come near to the point that is selected. When you select the line, when you click here, you see now you see the change. And then when you click this edge, you see this is what we call up to vertex. The selected edge or point does mean that where the end of extruded boss will be. Now, this is how to use up to vertex. When I click OK, you get this shape. Now, let's edit to see another function. Now, let's click on up to surface. Now, up to surface, you have to click the surface of body. You see, we get another shape. When we click here, you see there is another change. It means that when you click on the surface, you see also we get another change. Now the selected surface, it is the mean that it is where the end of extrude boss will be taken the shape of the surface selected. Let's click OK to see now. You see you get this shape. When we change for selecting this shape, you see we get another shape. When I click OK, you have the position of this shape. Now let's edit for another function. Now let's go to the offset from the surface. Now the offset from the surface is mean that you have to adjust the distance between the end of extrude boss and the selected surface. As you see here, it is on the adjustment, let's take 10 and select the surface. Now click, now let's go to the offset of surface. Okay, now select the surface. When we added the 10, it is the mean that the distance from here up to the selected surface, it is will be 10. You can change. When you change the surface, you see for this one you can increase. When you increase the distance, you will see the end of the distance between the selected surface and extrude boss. It will be increased also. When you see when we reduce, you see the distance also will be reduced. When we click this surface, you see the change, and then when you click here, you see the change. Yeah, it is very easy. You can click here also. You see when we any surface that we click, we can get the shape accordingly to the selected surface, and you can adjust the difference, the distance between the selected surface. That what we call the offset from the surface. Now let's click OK. Yes, this is offset from surface. Now let's edit for another function. Let's go to up to body. Yes, up to body, you have to select the body where the extrude boss will be, and when we click here, you see is automatically the end of extrude boss must be attached on the selected body. The selected body, you see the change, it's changed the color, begin red. When we click this body, you see it take another shape. This one, it is been changed. Yeah, okay. Yes, you see now when we select the body, you see the change. When we select this body, you see another change. That this is what we call up to body. Now let's continue with the last one, what we call the middle plane. Yes, middle plane, as you see, we have this plane. When we select middle plane, it means that this extrude boss, we take two direction from to the plane. The part one will have upward, the next is downward. Let's increase the dimension to see how the middle plane works. You see, you have the part one upward, another one downward. This all this direction must be equal. This part, the part one and the part two must be equal at the same size. You have mean that you have 100, it means here I have 15, now down I have 50. Yes, this is what we call the middle plane. Now let's click, no, this is what we call middle plane. Let's edit. Yeah, this is what we call middle plane. This is what we call middle plane. Now let's delete this one, show another things which is very important. Now the edit sketch. Yeah, for this edit sketch, let's go to the extrude boss. Now we're gonna to see how to use what we call the fin features. Now it is possible now to extrude the sketch. For example, let's close this one, select this plane, then click Control 8 for normal to, and then draw the line. Yes, from this line we can do extrude boss what we call the fin feature. When you click on the fin feature, it is the mean that you can extrude the sketch or the line only. When you see here, I have the different shape. For this rectangle, we have hollow shape. For this line, we have another shape. We can increase the thickness, you see, the thickness of extrude boss, and you can increase or see the length of extrude boss. For this one, you can change the direction, you see, the direction can be changed, and the thickness also can be changed. Yeah, you see how to use the fin features in extrude boss. I think that is enough for the end condition. Now, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share to others